Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel, guys. I'm still feeling a little hoarse in the chest, but a lot better now. So I'm back from my road trip around Europe, doing 6 to 7 countries in 6 to 7 days. We started in England, we went to France, we then hit the Belgium, we then hit the Germany, we then went south from Germany through the Liechtenstein into Switzerland, and then we even went into Italy and then France on the way back, and I can't remember if I'm missing any. Amazing trip. Car got absolutely hammered in bugs. Bug splatter was the big problem, and the alloys got really, really dirty. So I've really had to deep clean the car and spend a lot longer than cleaning it. What did I do? Well, actually, when I was out there, I was lucky enough in the hotel, they had a little pressure washer and a brush. I didn't use the brush, but it had a bit of soap in the pressure washer that you could do, but it was no good, but it just allowed me to get some of that bug splatter off. But anyway, it was another 1,000 miles to get home. So the front was plastered in bug splatter. Now what I did is normally, I always just pre-wash the car. I don't like double pre-washing because your chemical can only soak out a type of dirt once, and once that dirt is soaked out, putting another chemical on top, it's not going to penetrate into the dirt really. But I think the exception to that rule is when you got bug splatter, what I did was I sprayed it all in this citrus, and it's the Carbon Collective one, which is a really high quality one. No, I won't buy it because I've done the review on it. It's a ready to use one. It's too expensive for me, but it's a high quality product. Sprayed it all over the windshield. Just let it sit there, and then use the soft Detail Factory brush and just worked over the surface, and you could feel the bug footprint start to sort of dissolve a little bit and just come off the car with the working of the brush. Unfortunately, that does scratch your paint a little bit because you're working solid dirt around, so it's going to create little fine surface swirls that a bit like when you clay. So it's just going to need a little buff out to take those out. Yes, and I've got the odd stone chip on the car. The front's taken a bit of a hammering, to be fair, but nothing too bad. Nothing too bad. In fact, you're probably not going to be able to see it on camera, but just little chips and things, not even through the paint, but just the reality of driving your car at quite fast speeds. We did hit the Autobahn. I had this thing up over 140 miles an hour. It had a little bit more to give as well, but my derriere started twitching. That was fast enough, but I think you could probably maybe get up to 150. But it's not set up either for that sort of driving. It's got like a stance, #stance camber on it. So it's so much camber, the wheels are almost sideways. It's all right in the twisties. Anyway, that's what I did to get the bug splatter loosened up. Okay, then I foamed the car with Built Hamber Touchless, using this new latest MTM PF22.3, which I've done a video about and talked about. So far though, so far this Canon is fine, and I'm kind of really liking, because I don't use it much, and I'm sort of using it with it. I'm actually enjoying using it. I think the control on it is better than the MJCC, all because of that rake adjust. You can't turn one or the other. They always both turn kind of thing, whereas that's just so much more elegant. So I'm enjoying this, but this bottle thing is very cheap, what they've done. But yeah, so I'm using it because I suspect it's going to fall apart. But anyway, snow foamed it with Built Hamber Touchless, let that all soak in, blast it all out. I think I did the wheels before that as well, so I might pre-wash the wheels, blast them off. I tried to keep it out of the sun today because it's very, very hot, so I did most of it in the garage, like just the arse sticking out, a bit like me. Yeah, the wheels weren't that bad actually because they're reasonably new on the coating, but there was a lot of dirt on them. I'm going to dress the tyres back up, gave the arches a clean, give it a little blast out underneath as best as I could with the extension on. I'll dress the tyres up. Then after the pre-wash with Built Hamber, contact washed it, went back over it with Touchless and the mitt, and really washed it, because that gets a lot of the bugs off the bonnet as well. you know, especially going back over all of these bits again. And then even when I got the car in and started drying it, I could still see bits of low-level bug splatter, and I used a little bit of Geon Prep on a microfiber towel just to get the last bits where I could feel it off. And then even after you've taken it off and it feels smooth, you can still see the etching from the bug. So it does damage the paint. So really it was worse along here, and the worst bit is here. So I haven't done that yet. I'm going to get the polish on that. So what I'm doing is I'm going over the car with S40, which is not just a finishing polish, it's an ultra fine finishing polish. So virtually no cut. It's a bit like Menzona SF3800, which might be called SF4500 now. Very, very low cut, ultra fine. So it's good when you're trying to preserve clear coat and just really shine up the paintwork. But it does have, it will take out fine swirls, like the real fine stuff, you know, from doing what we've done here. The glass has got the protective film on it, but there's still some bug etching in this film. I've got some wiper, you can't see it, but there's some wiper marks in there now. You can just see them, yeah? Because it's plastic, this PPF, so it's going to scratch easier than glass. So I'm interested to see what it's like in a year's time. I'm probably going to keep it on longer, actually. I think this could be a really impressive product. But I've got some bug etchings there, so I'll just see if I can do a light whiz over with the S40 there, and I'll put a little coating on back on it or something like that, or some glass sealant back over the top just to make it a little bit less PPF-y and a bit more slicky. Other than that, I was sticking to that seat in the heat, and I've really kind of deteriorated my paintwork in here, so you can kind of see the paint's ripping up, coming off now. So I'll have a word with Ram. I don't know. These seats look half decent, don't they? But they were a dog's dinner when we refinished them. They were right on the limit of what you could really refinish. But I suppose these could be redone again. It could all be done again. But I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, maybe it's time to get them reupholstered. Or maybe it's time to just refinish them again. I don't know. For the time being, it's okay. So that is it, guys. The trip was incredible. The trip, we did so much. I think it was 7 of us went, and we did something every single day. We did the Spa circuit. We went to Stuttgart. I did the Porsche Museum, which we originally weren't going to do, but there was just enough time to fit that in. We then did the Alps, and then did a drive every single day on the Alps to different places, and then the drive back, like I said, through France. Incredible, just really nice restaurants. The biggest thing for me is how you can get around Europe, and the roads are really smooth and good. The German roads are amazing. The standard of driving in Germany is so much higher, different level. You still get traffic over there, but when there's traffic jams, they all pull over to the left, and on the right they pull over and leave a lane down the middle, so the emergency services can automatically get down the gap in the middle. When they're driving down the motorway, they do not go in the outside lane unless they're overtaking, and they drive at phenomenal speeds, even out when it's not autobahn. You know, they're pelting along. You're going along at a good rate, and you turn and you get overtaken by some old lady who's about 80 in some giant 4x4 BMW doing about 120 miles an hour, just cool as a cucumber. Much better driving standards. You can really get around, and the roads so much better. You go to Switzerland, and they've got roadworks in the passes. You know, lots of these teams of engineers out fixing the roads, and they don't just fix a pothole; they relay the roads, and they're always working. So when you go there, you actually see the guys on the diggers or someone doing things. No one is ever sitting around. Whenever you see roadworks in the UK, 99% of the time, you might see one bloke smoking a fag and another 5 guys standing around helping him. You never see any workload. As soon as we got back into England on the M25, there's all these roadworks, one lane completely closed, no one doing anything, no one doing any work. You know, it's just a joke. Mate, England is so... You notice how bad it is when you get back. The rubbish, the litter on the floor, like our town centres and the difference in the quality of life over in kind of southern Germany, Switzerland, you know, maybe Austria, even though we didn't go there, you know, that part of the world. That's south of France as well, rural France, where it's all clean and people take pride in maintaining certain things. I'm sure it's not perfect. The cost of stuff in Switzerland was phenomenal, but it's such a beautiful, unspoilt country. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful to another level. Amazing. So that's my post cleanup, guys. I'm going to carry on just going around the car, mopping it with the S40, get it all nice and shiny. And the S40 is so nice and easy to buff. And it will just be little bits like that as well, you see. That is like the etching from, it's completely flat. It's just a little bit of bug etching that will come off with a gentle buff. And it will gloss up the paintwork of my car as well. And I'll redress my tyres, give the exhaust clean, vacuum out the inside. The engine bay I've given a little sort of squirt and then filled it up with auto glim dressing. So the engine bay will be okay. And the car will be back then to a half decent standard. But yeah, that puts a real toll on the car. The incredible car that you can take this 26-year-old car and just do that to it. And when I say do that to it, I mean drive it hard, very, very hard, continually for 7 days. And it's fine. One of the chaps that we were there, unfortunately his Porsche, same engine as my 996, broke down. And that's caused him all sorts of problems, but he's got breakdown cover, and you know, but it caused him to have to stay another day, and he's going back, and I think they're trying to fix his car. So what a nightmare that is, and that could have happened. That's the reality, really, of taking old cars all around Europe. But I think these BMWs, especially these E36s, something may well break on this car, but it's probably not going to be the engine. It'll probably be like, gearboxes are good, I don't know, probably be like suspension or the brakes maybe or something, I don't know. But the engines are very solid. So there we go, guys. Let me know what you're up to this summer. And that was a fantastic little deviation. We'll get back to work on this, and I'll have this done by the end of the week. And then we'll move on to the next one. So take care. See you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Voice is just about gone. Oh, God.